Hey guys, it's Lychee here. I'm in Cinnamoroll's Cloud Cafe, and today I'm going to be showing you guys everything about working in the kitchen. So let's go ahead and get started with the basic information. I'm going to give you guys the tour of where everything is first, starting with this wall. Basically, you can see the blender, teapot, coffee machine, and water. This is pretty much the machines for the different drinks, and you can see on the top of the wall, there's the different basic recipes. You can also see on this side that there's fruit slices, tea, and coffee. And over here is all of the empty containers, so cups, frying pan, and baking tray. Over here on this wall, again, we have the recipes on the top. And then this is the stove top, and this is the oven. The middle islands basically hold a lot of ingredients. So starting on this side, we have, I think these are actually marshmallows. And then there's little bottles of milk. Here is the ice, here is honey, and then if you grab a frying pan and come to this station, you can select different types of pre-shaped doughs. And then over here we have caramel sauce, lemon, chocolate, whipped cream, cinnamon, and again, caramel sauce. And then over here you can see that this is the rotating order menu board. All of the yellow items are food, all of the blue items are drinks. And when items get served at the serving window over here, these tickets actually move past. So that's the basics of where everything is laid out in the cafe. It definitely took me a while to figure everything out. So next, let me show you actually how to do these recipes. So let's choose, I'm already holding a frying pan, so let's just do this very basic, easy one. So it looks like all we have to do is come get that square dough, toasted slices, and bring that over to the stove. And we place it on the stove. Basically, you can see this little progress bar. And when it's done, grab it off, and then let's go serve that at the serving window. So as a basic item, we can get just 5 coins. Let me show you guys what it looks like to do a more complicated item. Let's try this iced tea milk drink. So let's get a cup, we need a tea, and then we bring those over to the teapots and fill those 2 ingredients. And we are waiting. Perfect, now we have a tea, and what else do we need? We needed some milk, so let's grab that from the milk fridge. Now we have milk tea. And then let's serve this. Perfect, 8 coins. So that's pretty much the basics of how everything works. You can get away with this much knowledge basically and be pretty functional in the game. But here's the next level. Let's go on to the 5 tips that I have for you guys today. Number 1, focus on one type of food. Okay, so there's 3 main categories of things that you can make, and this is dependent on the type of container. Basically, for drinks, you always start with an empty cup. For baked goods, you always start with the baking tray, and then for other items, you always start with the frying pan. Only produce one type of food. This kind of simplifies things because you just always make sure that your first step is the same step, and that makes it easier and more efficient for you to make as many items as possible. Number 2, choose a random item on the menu. So when I started playing, I used to always look at the item that is most on the left and start making that item. To be honest, I think that a lot of people are doing that right now. So sometimes it would be the case that I would try to start making that item, but then someone else was already making it and served it. So by the time I got to the serving station, it wouldn't accept my item basically. So my second tip basically is choose a random item on the menu that fits within the category that you want. So if you grabbed a baking tray, just choose the 3rd or 4th one that you see. It doesn't have to be the same one, but just don't always choose the first item to make. Number 3, do more complex items. So essentially my theory is that you cannot make 2 simple items in the same time that it would take for you to make 1 complex item. So by simple and complex, I mean items that are just 3 ingredients versus items that are 5 or 6 ingredients even. Basically, you will not be able to make 2 simple items and get 10 coins in the time that it would take you to make 1 item that is worth 8 coins. So basically, don't just skip on the more complex items because you think that, they're more complex, because you actually do get not double the coins, but you do get proportionally more coins for doing them. So basically, I think it's worth continuing to do the complex menu items as well. Number 4, using your inventory. So a lot of the items only take 2 or 3 ingredients, especially if you're working on drinks where you can add toppings at the very end. This might not work if you're doing like oven items, because you actually have to have all of the oven items in your baking tray before you put it into the oven. But for an example, let's say that if you're working on drinks, you can keep an extra tea or empty cup in your inventory because you can hold up to 3 items. And by doing that, you basically can save yourself 1 or 2 trips. Another way to use your extra inventory slot is to hold on to an extra item. So let's say that I did make an item that someone else decided to make. Instead of leaving it on the pre-cooked counter for someone else to like snatch it and take your coin payout, you can basically just keep it inside your inventory, and when you see it come up on the menu again, then you serve that item and don't risk leaving it on the counter basically for someone else to take your coins. Okay, and then on my last tip, don't try to make 2 items at once. So I tried this a couple times. Honestly, it is too difficult for the most part. If you leave something on the oven or in one of the machines, it's tempting to walk away and try to squeeze out another item in that time. But it's really, really difficult, maybe even impossible to do that, because the item that is on the stove or in the machine can start like overflowing, catch on fire, that type of stuff. So my advice is basically to focus on the one item that you're making, do it as fast as possible, then focus on the next item. You don't need to try to make 2 items at once. So those are my main 5 tips for being efficient with earning cinnamon coins in the kitchen. If you guys have other advice, please leave them in the comments so everyone can benefit from it. Leave a like on the video if you love Cinnamoroll's Cloud Cafe. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.